If you're a fan of The Big Bang Theory, then you know that the series is over, the show is done, that's a wrap. It's kind of sad, really. I mean, that was one of my wife and I's favorite shows. We loved it. So it's kind of sad that the series has come to an end. It was a great series. It ran for 12 years. It was the longest series since Cheers. And it was so successful because they did such a great job of pulling the audience into the story, into the lives of those people. The actors did an outstanding job. So it's kind of sad that it's over. We've kind of tied up the loose ends. We watched the series finale. We watched the Big Bang farewell. That was behind the scenes afterward. And it was a nice wrap to it, but it was still, I'm going to miss it for sure. Well, I was wondering why it actually got canceled, so I went online, and it turns out that Jim Parsons, who plays Sheldon Cooper, and Johnny Galecki, who plays Leonard Hofstadter, they were kind of the reason why the show got canceled. They decided they didn't want to re-sign their contracts. They weren't going to continue on with another season. And really just for one reason. Jim especially, he decided that he was kind of just done with that show. He felt like he had made his run, and that he was ready for something new, that he had kind of gone on to a different phase. And when you think about it, 12 years is a long time. I think Jim said was 46 years old, so 12 years ago, that's, back in his 30s, he talked about how much he had changed as a person, how, he was a different person back then, and that even kind of impacted the role that he played on the show. I think back to 12 years ago. I was 18 years old. I had just graduated high school. A lot of things had changed for me. I've got married, had a baby, different life, different job. Things changed in 12 years. And it gets you to thinking about, as you're going into different phases in your life, sometimes it's time to stop, to say, it's been a good run, but I'm ready for the next thing. As we change, as we grow, as we mature in life, we all go through those different phases. And it's okay to say, hey, this has been a good run. It's been a great run, but it's time for something different. It's time to move on and say goodbye to this and see what the next chapter in our life brings. So we're going to miss the Big Bang Theory. We're going to really miss those new stories. Maybe there'll be a reboot someday, hopefully. But I'm glad that Jim recognized the fact that he had reached the end of that time, of his participation in that show. And instead of dragging it on, he said, hey, you know what? It's time for the next phase. It's time for the next chapter of my life. It's important that we don't lose sight of the chapters in our life, and that we are willing and able to recognize when the next phase comes, and to embrace the next phase in our life, and to reflect and be grateful for the previous phase, the previous chapter where we've come from. To always be moving forward, always be looking ahead at what is life going to look like now? How can I make it better? How can I change things? How can I improve? How can I make it more fun? Always embrace and always be grateful for where you came from, and embrace what is coming ahead. If nothing else, we can learn that from the Big Bang Theory.